It's zone 8B. It's December. There's not a lot to do in the garden. Everything's kind of dead. We're about to go into the coldest months of the year for us. So there's not a lot to do, but there are a few things that you can do in your garden. I'm going to show you 4 things that I do in my garden during December. One of the things I love to do is prune. I love to prune. I love to train my plants. I love to get them exactly where I want them to be for the spring. However, December is not the best time for that. Still, we have some cold days ahead, but there is something that I can do to get ready. So when I do prune, it'll make it a lot easier. With all the leaves off of my plants, well, I shouldn't say all the leaves, most of the leaves off of my plants, it makes it a lot easier to find disease, a lot easier to find broken branches. So we're going to do that now. However, we're not going to prune, we're going to mark it. How we're going to mark it? Paint. Just get you any kind of paint that's easy to see. I have some yellow. Some people could use orange. I've seen people use orange. I've used orange in the past, but I just happen to have this yellow. And anywhere we see damage, we're going to spray paint. And that way, when we start to prune, it'll make it really easy to find those places to get rid of that disease and that damage. So let's get started on that. So here on this cherry tree, you can actually see right here where it's died back. You see how dry that branch is? Now, all I'm gonna do, take a little paint, spray paint it. That way when I start to prune, it'll be easy to see. And I know some people are saying that spray paint's gonna damage the tree. You notice I spray painted on the dead part of the tree. That's what you're gonna do. Make sure you put that spray paint on the dead part, the damaged part, or the diseased part. That way you're gonna cut that paint out anyway. It just makes it easier when you start to prune. Let's see what else we can find. I've already made a video on this. This is where a deer came in and rubbed on that tree right there. So we're gonna mark it back. That whole thing is, we marked the whole thing. Got damage, we're gonna prune it right here so it comes up. There's still a little damage here, but I don't think that's gonna be too bad. I think it'll be able to heal up pretty good. This branch here may have to go also, but we'll see. We know this one has to go. Here's a spot on my peach tree. It's just a wound. That would probably heal. But as you can see, that's a nice sized peach tree. So we're going to spray it. That way we can cut it out. This is also a great time to check your prunes from years past to see if they're healing up. That's what you want to see. You want to see them heal. We may have a little bit of a problem here. We got some kind of fungus growing there. It looks like maybe some turkey tail. So I'm going to spray that, and then we're going to re-examine that. Anytime you have turkey tail or any other kind of mushroom fungus growing on your tree, it is a sign of weakness or disease or dead wood, and always cut it out. Better safe than sorry, especially on a peach tree, because a peach tree is pretty sensitive. Go ahead and cut it off. You'll lose some fruit, but you may save the tree. Everything else looks really good. Well, we got some frost damage right here on the fig tree. So we're going to mark all that damage. However, to tell the truth, on the fig tree, we're going to, this one, like this one here, we're going to prune it pretty significantly. Even though it doesn't have any frost damage, we're still going to prune it significantly. So you really don't even have to mark the fig tree, because as you can see here, last year, this is where I pruned to, and I let that all grow up. So this, even though there's frost damage there, will be pruned probably about 1.5 feet from the ground. All right, broken branch there. And it looks like this is where a deer came in and scraped against that tree there. So that'll get a nice little prune there and there. The second thing that I do is I go through all the beds and I check to see if there's anything growing that shouldn't be growing there. And then I pull those out. It's real easy to pull those saplings out right now, but sometimes you let those little saplings get a little taller, maybe a little oak tree, and before you know it, it's 2 foot tall and it's hard to get up. And so we're going to check our beds. There's not a lot of leaves on any of the trees. There's not a lot of leaves, or as many leaves on the blackberries like you see behind me, and it makes it very easy for us to check these beds. Let's see if there's anything we need to pull. All right, look at here. Already got us an oak tree. Gone. Second oak tree. Look at there. That one's kind of hard to get up. We got that one out of the way. Look at here on the back side of these blackberries. Just a little bush. We'll get that up by the roots. As you can see, oak. And then just a few feet down, I got another oak. We got those up. You get the idea. Right now, there's not as many leaves on these plants. Makes it a lot easier to see, go through. It doesn't take very long. Get those little saplings out of there before they grow and they get those deep roots. You can pull out pretty quick. All right, on to number 3. The third thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna look for transplants. You have plants like your blackberries here, they will have small shoots that come up from the roots. And so any plant that will multiply through the roots, I look for those shoots so that I can transplant them and put them where I want them. I have 2 blackberries here. There's one there. Here's one, and I was looking, here's a small one right here. So I'm gonna take those and I'm gonna transplant them and put them where I want them instead of having them right here under the muscadines. They don't do well right underneath. So we'll get them in a place where they can produce and you have free plants. So make sure you're looking for those plants to transplant. The fourth thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start to mulch. I got 2 bales of old hay here that I'm gonna start with, but December is a great time to mulch because you have access to plenty of things. You have fallen leaves, as you can see around me. You have pine straw. There's just a lot of things to mulch with. Wintertime is a great time to get ahead of your mulching game. So go ahead and get that mulch down. As I tear into this hay, you can just see you never want to give anything like that to any animals, but for your plants, that's amazing. This is going to be good mulch. So that hay went down in layers. You can see where it already started to decompose, and we're gonna put it on pretty thick so it can continue, and we'll put pine straw on top of that. Make sure though, when you put it down, don't put it down around the base of the tree. Just kind of pull it back a little bit and you'll be good to go. Those are the 4 things I'm going to do. First, I'm going to go through. I'm going to mark what needs to be pruned. That way I can look at it a second time just before I prune in the spring. Now I'm going to mark it right now because it's too early for me to prune. Well, for me it's too early because it only takes me about a week to prune. So I can do that in February and not have to worry about the cold and doing damage to where I've pruned. So I'm going to mark what needs to be pruned first. Then I'm going to come through with all those leaves off of my plants. It'll make it a lot easier for me to clean my beds out, get all those saplings out of the way so that they don't grow into trees and those deep roots mess everything up for me in the future. So I'm going to make sure that I clean those out. I'm also going to be looking for things that need to be transplanted, like my blackberries, my elderberries, maybe even a few blueberries. You can transplant those right now. It's a great time. Last, I'm gonna go ahead and start mulching. Why? Because there's lots of material to mulch with right now. In fact, there's probably so much that you could get for free. You wouldn't have to buy mulch next year. You can find your neighbor has raked all their leaves up. They usually have to pay somebody to come pick it up. You just tell them, I want those leaves. They would give them to you, and then you would save them a little money, and you would get that mulch for free. So I had that old straw. I'm going to start with that, and then I'm going to use pine straw and leaves on top of that straw and in all my other beds. Mulch is a necessity. Make sure you get that mulch. It's great for building up our soil. It's great for protection. Those are the 4 things that I've got planned for December.